Of all the models in Volkswagen's current passenger car range, the Polo is one of the most important. First of all, of course, it's a volume seller right here in South Africa, but it's also built in Uitenhage for export, and that means it's a money spinner. But if you want to export cars and earn export credits, you have to build a car to world-class quality standards as well. And so the Polo is all about quality.
The Polo competes in the premier subcompact sector, where it's up against a huge number of rivals, including the Hyundai i20, Renault's Clio, the Peugeot 207, Honda's Jazz, and the Citroën C3. If anything, the competition has got tougher over the years, and the latest Polo has high expectations to live up to. No wonder then that Volkswagen has tried to find a specific USP for its compact contender and has homed in on quality as that differentiating factor. That quality is also at the core of the Polo's bigger brother, the Golf 6, ensures a measure of corporate continuity.
The new Polo even looks like a baby Golf 6, and that's most apparent from the front. These tapered headlights, the slanted front, the narrow aperture are all very much Golf. But the rear is quite the opposite, quite bland, quite angular, in fact, very much like the old car, with only the taillights providing some visual differences.
While the styling won't win any prizes for innovation, it is cohesive and attractive enough in a safe, unobtrusive kind of way that is unlikely to offend too many people. That it isn't a radical departure from its predecessor will protect the previous model's resale value while also helping to boost the fortunes of the Vivo, Volkswagen South Africa's City Golf replacement, which is based on the previous Polo. The compact footprint, short overhangs, chunky looks and strong front end promise a level of dynamic appeal, although hot hatch fans will have to wait for the upcoming GTI version. The model under scrutiny here is the 1.6 TDI flagship, which at least promises ample torque and good tractability.
But before we get to the oily bits, let's take a closer look at the cabin. As you'd expect of a Volkswagen, the focus here is very much on durability, longevity and tangible quality. But it's not the most interesting place to spend time in. In fact, visually, it's pretty boring.
Given the level of design appeal provided by Volkswagen's French rivals, it could have tried a bit harder. But that aside, it's a comfortable place with intuitive ergonomics and efficient packaging. This top Comfortline model features electric windows and mirrors, climate control, cloth upholstery, and a leather-trimmed steering wheel with tilt and reach adjustment, as well as multifunction controls. You also get a 6-speaker sound system with auxiliary input jack, a trip computer, and height adjustment for both front seats. But park distance control and cruise control are options. The safety kit is comprehensive, with front airbags as well as combined side and head bags included. The accommodation is comfortable and spacious up front, but less so at the rear, where legroom becomes a problem for taller folk. The boot is adequate, offering 280 litres of space, which can be increased to 952 litres by folding down the split rear bench seat.
Under the bonnet, you'll find one of Volkswagen's latest TDI turbo diesel units. It's a 1.6-litre engine featuring common rail injection and a diesel particulate filter. Output is a reasonable 77 kilowatt, torque 250 newton meters, but it's not the most refined of units.
The four-cylinder has been optimized for frugal fuel consumption and low emissions and is fully Euro 5 compliant, but it sounds clattery on startup and its gruff exhaust note will be an acquired taste. A 5-speed manual gearbox with well-chosen ratios makes the most of the engine's output, allowing good in-gear tractability. The Polo rides on McPherson struts and lower wishbones up front with a torsion beam axle at the rear. Brakes are discs all round with ABS, while stability control is also standard. The wheels are 15-inch alloys shod with 185/60 rubber.
In performance terms, the TDI delivers very much what you'd expect. There's a lot of low-down shove, and in fact you need to short-shift the gears because there's little point in revving this engine. For some there might be a bit of turbo lag, but generally the feeling is of a brisk and composed car. Top speed in this vehicle, 187 kilometers an hour, and the 0-100 time in the mid-10-second bracket.
That makes the 1.6 TDI the quickest member of the Polo range, but its real talents lie in its effortless tractability and good in-gear responses. It feels eager and alert in virtually every gear and is a consummate cruiser regardless of terrain. This is a car that covers ground swiftly and without fuss.
But the highlight of the new Polo is definitely the handling. The suspension finds just the right compromise between comfort on the one side, response on the other. Turn-in is nice and crisp, and in fact the car always feels agile and wieldy when you take it through the twisties.
Understeer is progressive as you approach the limit, and the steering is a little over-assisted, but it makes for effortless slow-speed maneuvers. The turning circle is a useful 10.6 meters. Fuel consumption is another highlight, with a claimed combined cycle figure of only 4.6 litres per 100 kilometres, dropping to below 4 litres on the open road. That would indicate an operating range of about 1,000 kilometres from the 45-litre tank.
The new Polo is very much a step up from its predecessor. It looks and feels more upmarket, underlining its positioning as a smaller sibling to the Golf 6. The engine scores on most fronts except refinement, and the dynamics are brisk and benign.
At 209,900 rands, including a 3-year 100,000 kilometre warranty, but no service plan, the Polo TDI is a premium subcompact targeting those seeking Golf-like properties in a smaller, more fuel-efficient package.
An eco-friendly tractable turbo diesel engine and high quality levels make for a very convincing package that pleases on most fronts. But the engine disappoints in refinement terms, and the interior, while well equipped and comfortable, could be more aesthetically inventive.